welcome to this update video. I hope that you are doing good this morning. So we'll be looking at what's going on across the North Atlantic basin. We'll be talking about the Caribbean and also the Eastern Pacific, where there is quite a bit going on. So we're kickstarting things with the Pacific. And here we can see a couple of marked systems on this graphic. So we've got Hurricane Gilma. Now, Gilma has strengthened into a major hurricane. It is currently a Cat 3, and behind it is a disturbance with a high 80% chance of formation. And ahead of it is another disturbance that's about to cross into the Central Pacific with a 90% chance of formation. And a bit more organization of the system today is likely to result in a depression or tropical storm, and this may near the Hawaiian Islands. And so as such, persons there, especially on the Big Island, should be keeping watch, as the system could make a pretty close approach over the next few days. And so that's what's going on over there. As I said, quite a bit of activity, 2 disturbances with high chances to develop, as well as a major hurricane. As for the Atlantic basin, let's switch to the satellite imagery. Here we can see that there is some activity around here and there. A frontal system is offshore the United States. You can see all of this shower and thunderstorm activity associated, and also a couple of showers, thunderstorms noted in sections of the Caribbean, and there are a couple of tropical waves out there as well. So one has recently entered the Caribbean that will help to enhance the rainfall activity. Another is offshore the African coast near the Cabo Verde Islands. Now, as we're going to be heading through today, let's go ahead and look at the rainfall forecast for the Caribbean. So here we can see it pretty colorful for parts of Florida as well as the northern Bahamas. As we can see, that's likely in association with the frontal system. And then for parts of the central and southern Bahamas as well as the Turks and Caicos, there could be some additional shower and thunderstorm activity around. As we head to the Greater Antilles, parts of Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, even a few spots in Puerto Rico, there could be some additional periods of heavy rain and thunderstorms today, especially in the afternoon. Things may be a little bit on the drier side for the Cayman Islands, though. Then as we head to the Virgin Islands and through the Lesser Antilles, there's likely to be some rainfall around here and there as well. And ABC Islands, we're seeing lots of whites around. So rainfall activity is pretty much unlikely today, but it will be windy in the area. We'll be looking at that forecast in a moment. So Northern South America, for the Guyanas, it's not going to be too active, but towards the Pacific coast of Colombia, we're seeing those shadings of purples popping up and those pinks as well. So 3.5 going up to 4 inches of rain in some spots, definitely flood triggering rainfall. And we can also see that Panama, Costa Rica, a few spots in Nicaragua, Honduras, going to Belize, Guatemala, as well as Mexico are colorful. So that is indicative of expected rainfall activity, and that is not something unusual. We've been seeing that the area has been quite active. Here we are seeing the wind forecast. So as we see more of those darker or more vibrant shadings of purples and those blues, that is indicating some of those stronger winds. So the Eastern Caribbean, the ABC Islands, parts of the Lesser Antilles, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, even up to the Turks and Caicos Islands and parts of the Bahamas, likely to be pretty windy today with those winds up to or over 20 knots. With higher gusts, and elsewhere should be a little bit more tranquil, maybe winds up to 10 knots or so at maximum as we head throughout today. So perfect today for the beach, especially in the ABC Islands, since there's not going to be a whole lot of rain and it's going to be windy. It's a pretty good time to go to the beach to cool off, and we got to take advantage of this little lull right now. So since Ernesto, there hasn't been any other disturbance, but there are still those signals of seeing something in the Atlantic basin as we close the month of August and head into early September. So that is still anticipated, and we'll see as time goes by if there is some consistency with the models over the course of the coming days. But one of the things that's keeping things a bit quiet right now is the dry air. So as we look at this map here, we can see all the dry air marked by the shades of yellows, oranges, and reds, and the more vibrant shadings that we're seeing of those oranges, reds, and even the pinks indicate higher concentrations. So some of this activity here is associated with the tropical waves, and as they propagate to the west, they'll help out to kind of clean up the dry air out there and moisturize the environment a bit more, and that will kind of pave the way for the future tropical waves to come so that they can take advantage of that moist environment and potentially develop. So we're going to be seeing some more robust tropical waves as we eventually head into the heart of the hurricane season, and some of which will develop into tropical storms and even hurricanes. But for the short term, fortunately, things seem to be on the quieter side. But as I said, there are those hints of seeing some developments as we're going to be closing the month of August and headed into September. And so guys, that is basically what I wanted to share with you in this update video. Again, there are a couple of tropical waves out there. One is in the Caribbean, another is offshore Africa. And the one in the Caribbean may help to enhance the rainfall for parts of the region as we head throughout today. And so I'll keep you updated as necessary. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I have the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.